Do you love The Lord of the Rings and want to know more about what happened before and after it? In this video, you'll learn all about the entire history of the world in which Lord of the Rings takes place. I'm going to give you the timeline of all its history from its beginning, creation, all the way until we are told no more. This will help you understand Lord of the Rings much better, answer some questions you have had about it, and tell you some of the other books written by J.R.R. Tolkien so you can enjoy even more of this amazing world he has written for us. Let's begin. The first age is called the Age of the Song. This is when Ilúvatar, their equivalent to our god, created Arda. Now, Arda is a world that includes Valinor and Middle-earth. Middle-earth is where the Lord of the Rings takes place in, and Valinor is where the Valar, the helper spirits of Ilúvatar who govern Middle-earth, that is where they live. So where were the Valar and Ilúvatar living before? Well, they were living in halls that were kind of floating in the air, and there was no substance to them. The next point in time is when the Valar go to Arda and people it. They choose Valinor. There's two main islands in Arda, Valinor and Middle-earth. The Valar choose Valinor and build on it a mountain called Taniquetil. The next age is called the Age of the Two Trees. It's defined by there being no sun or moon, but instead two trees who give light. One is rather like the sun, it gives yellow light and is golden, and one is like the moon, it is silver and gives white light. The beginning of the Age of the Two Trees is when Ilúvatar makes the elves. The elves first appear in Middle-earth, and they stay there for a long time until Orome, one of the Valar, leads the elves to Valinor. Valinor and Middle-earth are currently separated by a thin strip of sea, and they must cross that to get to Valinor. Now, not all the elves went to Valinor. Some of them stayed and never went to Valinor, and some of them went. The majority of them went. I will tell you also that one of the Valar was evil, and he moved to Middle-earth because he did not want to be with the good Valar and made a stronghold. He is named Morgoth, and one of his biggest servants, greatest and most powerful, is named Sauron. He is the Dark Lord of the Lord of the Rings and the one who created the Ring of Power. So the elves go to Valinor and stay there until the end of the Age of the Two Trees. The elves leave Valinor. There are many different views on why they leave it. Many of the elves leave because they actually think that the Valar are enslaving them and being evil to them, when of course they're not. But many of the elves just go because they want to see new lands and claim their own lands instead of sharing lands with the Valar. Some of the elves leave and go back to Middle-earth, and some of the elves stay there forever. The separation point between the Age of the Two Trees and the First Age is the sun and the moon being created. They are created by a Valar named Varda, and she creates them out of the light of the two trees that she kind of captures in two globes and sets them to run in circles in the upper space. So the elves are journeying from Valinor to Middle-earth, and the sun and the moon are made, and the elves get to Middle-earth as the sun rises for the first time. Now, this seems like a heroic and amazing start, but it's going to decline very soon. The first quarter point of the First Age is when Ilúvatar makes men. Again, these are first seen on Middle-earth, but a separate part of Middle-earth than where the elves are. Many of the men travel to Middle-earth, but some of the men stay where they are or are corrupted by Morgoth. He also corrupted some of the elves and made them into orcs. The halfway point in the First Age is called the Battle of Tears. This is a major battle, and all these battles I'm going to talk about are battles between the good elves and good men, and Morgoth and the bad elves and bad men. This first battle is very major battle, and also nobody really wins in these battles. There's about 10 small battles and a few more major ones, but none of the two sides really win. They're both grown a little bit less weak, but none of them accomplish their goals. The end of the First Age is the last major war for a long time. This is called the War of Wrath. This is when the elves and men have kind of declined, and Morgoth has grown stronger. So one of the elves goes over to Valinor, takes a ship, and goes over to Valinor and asks the Valar to help them destroy Morgoth for the last time. The Valar comply and go over to Middle-earth and destroy Morgoth, but they do not destroy Sauron. The beginning of the Second Age is when the Edain, or the men, sail to Numenor. Numenor is a little island off the coast of Middle-earth, and that is where the men stay for about 1,000 years until the end of the First Age, or the end of the Second Age, when the Valar send a great wave to wash over the men and destroy them because they have turned evil. The middle of the Second Age is when Rivendell is built by Elrond. Elrond is the elf who healed Frodo from his deadly wound, and also the Rivendell is where Frodo, or Bilbo, I should say, stayed after he left Hobbiton. A little bit before the end of the Second Age is when Sauron regains his strength and makes the Ring of Power. He forges this in Mordor, which he has now made better. The end of the Second Age is called the War of the Last Alliance. This is when the elves and men fight against Sauron, and the goal of this is to destroy his power and to take the ring. They don't destroy his power forever, but they do take the ring and keep it for only a few years. And at this point in time, the beginning of the Third Age, is when the Ring of Power is lost. Isildur, the man who cut the ring from the hand of the Dark Lord, is riding along with a company of knights when he's ambushed by orcs. The orcs kill his knights, and while they're fighting, Isildur tries to escape. He swims into the river with the ring on so they do not see him, but the ring betrays him and slips off a finger and falls into the river, and he is shot by arrows. The middle of the Third Age is when the hobbits build the Shire. Around this time, also, Gollum finds the ring and hides it in the Misty Mountains. The end of the Third Age is when the Lord of the Rings takes place. This all kind of envelops into one great war where Sauron is destroyed forever, and the ring is also destroyed. The point that separates the Third Age from the Fourth is Aragorn being crowned king. He's crowned king, rules a few years, and then dies in the beginning of the Fourth Age. The middle of the Fourth Age is, well, it's not really the middle. All throughout the Fourth Age, the descendants of Aragorn and Arwen rule Gondor, and Sauron is no longer there, so there's not very much evil. I hope you've enjoyed this timeline about the world of the Lord of the Rings. I'm 11 years old and want to make more videos about the Lord of the Rings and Tolkien's books. I'd love for you to leave a question in the comments section below to make future videos about. Which age did you find most interesting? Please leave a question about it right now. Thank you.